Today's video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. To say that currently there's a lot going on in the Black Clover manga would be a gross underestimation. I would say more has happened in the past 20 chapters of Black Clover than any other manga in the history of Shonen Jump. The Dark Triad arc comes to a close and everything's chill for like a chapter and a half, until quite literally the biggest possible baddie of all time reveals himself, kidnaps some of the most important characters in the entirety of the show, turns them evil, battles against all the strongest people in the Clover Kingdom, destroys them all, just starts jamming devils into anybody he can grab, and then after Asta loses, he somehow wakes up in Yami's homeland. This legit all happened over the course of, I think, 12 to 15 chapters. But now, not only is Asta in the Land of the Sun, he's also been training in the magic specific to the Land of the Sun, specifically the Land of Sun's Yojutsu. And not only has he been training in Yojutsu, he's mastered Yojutsu. Well, sort of. You see, because everything is happening so incredibly fast in the Black Clover manga right now, unfortunately, things are a bit confusing. And as I sat there reading this newest chapter, I got to thinking, I don't remember how we got here at all. So I decided to go all the way back to the beginning of this Land of Sun arc and reread everything from the beginning to where we are now, so that I could sit down and make a comprehensive video explaining to you exactly how things like Yoryoku, Yorjutsu, Zetten, and Asta's new form work. Because if I'm confused about it, that means there's probably a lot of other people confused about it. And I know there's also currently a bunch of people confused about JJK, but I'm not caught up. I'm going to Japan in like a week. I'm gonna sit down for 12 hours and just get caught up with JJK. But I am caught up with Black Clover, so today we're explaining Asta's new form, and specifically why his new form is a massive upgrade in power, one that'll put him on the level of Lucius. Before we get to explaining Asta's new form, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. And if you guys want to see me evolve into my new form, go ahead and follow my brand new podcast, Otaku's Anonymous, where me and Danny Mata break down everything that happened in anime this week. Before we get into all that, guys, today we have our favorite reoccurring sponsor to the page, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. are monthly subscription snack boxes that you can get from Japan, but they're very different from each other. Tokyo Treat allows you to snack like a modern Japanese household, and every month's box comes with a theme. This month is My Snackin' Valentine. But this pamphlet does a lot more than just tell you this month's theme. See, if you don't speak or read Japanese, a lot of the items in here, you're not gonna understand what they are. Like this snack right here. However, all I have to do is check out this 24-page pamphlet, and it'll tell me exactly what this snack is, the allergens connected to it, and why this snack is in the box. But enough about that, let's try them. These are spicy peanut arare. And they're delicious. The spice on them is perfect and the crunch is incredible. But enough about Tokyo Treat, let's talk about Sakura Co. You see, Sakura Co differs from Tokyo Treat in that it allows you to see how a traditional Japanese household might snack. But just like with Tokyo Treat, every month has a theme, and this month's theme is Valentine's Bliss. And just like with Tokyo Treat, if you don't read Japanese, you're not gonna figure out what these are. So let's figure out what this is using our pamphlet. As you can see, this is an ogura-an pie, and I now know its common allergens, if it's vegetarian friendly, and why it's consumed in Japan around this time period. But enough about that, let's try it. Oh my goodness, the dough is incredibly flaky and buttery, while the filling is slightly sweet. It's delicious. It could have been baked yesterday. But on top of delicious snacks, Sakura Co also sends one piece of tableware every month with their box. And this month is this beautifully ornate bowl. So what are you guys waiting for? Use code TWC at checkout for $5 off your order of either Sakura Co or Tokyo Treat. And make sure you use the links in my description. Don't just go typing in Tokyo Treat or Sakura Co. So what are you guys waiting for? It's time you started snacking like a real global citizen. So like with a lot of my videos here, we're gonna be talking about the Black Clover manga. So there may be manga spoilers down the line, though I will try my best to avoid them. But in order to talk about what's going on in Black Clover right now, I do kind of have to set the stage. So the Dark Triad arc revolved around three demons: Lucifero, Magicula, and Beelzebub. These are the three demons said to rule the lowest level of the underworld, and as devils get stronger, they reside in lower levels of the underworld. However, these weren't always the three demons that ruled the lowest level of the underworld. In fact, Magicula was a replacement for one of the original demons in the Dark Triad, Astaroth. But hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, Astaroth disappeared, and thus a replacement of Magicula was required. However, Astaroth wasn't dead, he was just hatching his own plan. His plan of inhabiting the oldest member of the Zogratis family, Lucius. And thus Astaroth is referred to as Lucius. Now the Dark Triad of Devils are supposed to have gravity, spatial, and soul magic. However, since Astaroth disappeared, that soul magic was replaced with curse magic with Magicula. That is to say that Lucius currently wields soul magic, the ability to manipulate other people's people's souls, which is how Lucius has the ability to pull people's souls out of their bodies and place them in other bodies, or to manipulate the very soul of somebody to make them evil. And using this soul magic ability, Lucius has been able to create people called paladins. Now, these are human mages who have been bestowed purified devil souls, and by purifying the dark magic of the devils, he's turned their power into a holy power, and thus he's bestowing upon these human mages holy power, making them paladins, of which there's currently 3 outside of Lucius himself, one of which is a wielder of spatial magic and water magic, one of which is a wielder of ice magic, and one of which is a wielder of beast magic. Because of the power of the paladins, the entire Black Clover Kingdom was overwhelmed. Everyone from the captains of all of the Magical Knight squads, Noel and Asta, were destroyed by them. There was really nothing they could do, which is why Asta is currently on a training mission in the Land of Sun, which he was teleported to after his loss against Lucius. In the Land of Sun, we were introduced to an entirely new power system. See, in the Land of Sun, which is modeled after Japan, they don't use magic, and they don't have grimoires, and instead of grimoires they have scrolls that they have to unroll to pull their spells from. But they don't refer to this practice as magic, they refer to this practice as yojutsu. But this doesn't mean that magic and yojutsu are the same thing, because they're not. In fact, magic and yojutsu are entirely separate things. The Shogun of the Land of Sun, Ryu, tells Asta that what he uses is yoryoku, while what he sees used in the Land of Sun through these scrolls is yojutsu. Now, this is kind of the first thing that people get tripped up, because unfortunately after this moment yoryoku and yojutsu seem to be used rather interchangeably. And while I believe that both of these powers are very similar, both having to play by the rules of magic, it's similar to how you could compare the Clover Kingdom's magic with the Heart Kingdom's true magic. While they're both technically magic, they're a different variation of magic that requires different practices. But that being said, yojutsu seems to operate in the same way as magic. That is to say that after unfurling this scroll, you can do pretty much anything that magic can do. We've seen wind style yojutsu users, lightning style yojutsu users, dark style yojutsu users. We even see buff type and healing type yojutsu users. There's a man by the name of Fumito who's able to make goldfish out of water that absorb people into them and heal all of their injuries. There's also a group of people referred to as the Ryuzen 7, who are said to be the greatest warriors of the Land of Sun. They operate in a very similar capacity to the captains of the Magical Knight squads, and they wield abilities like ice or wind or lightning or earth or dark in the form of Ichika. And for all intents and purposes, this yojutsu looks exactly like magic. The biggest difference, however, is the way that this magic is taught. See, in the Land of Sun, ki is important. We learned about ki originally from Yami, and Asta learned from Yami how to read and react to people's ki, giving Asta the preternatural ability to read people's intentions and dodge their attacks without using his eyes. And to the extent of what we learned from Yami and in the Clover Kingdom, this is all that we thought you could do with ki. Use it to perceive what your enemy is going to do. However, we learned in the Land of Sun that you can do a lot more with ki than just read it. And in fact, in the Land of Sun, ki is kind of akin to magical power. That is to say that ki is gathered to use yojutsu. And here's where even I start to get a little bit confused. It said that ki is used to create yoryoku, and that this yoryoku can be gathered together in the form of a powerful strike called zetten. But let me back up and explain that a little bit further in depth. Essentially what this is saying is that ki, when manipulated, can be turned into magical power. Once you can harvest this magical power that's running through your body, you're able to channel it into strikes. Now, these strikes are referred to in the Land of Sun as zetten, and zetten can be channeled through anything. Think of zetten a bit like Black Strike in JJK. When the perfect combination of manipulating your own magical power comes together, you can use it in a strike. Now, the problem here would be that technically, since ki is basically magical power, that Asta wouldn't be able to do this. Because once again, in essence, what we're talking about here is honing your magical power into a strike. And since Asta doesn't have magic, he shouldn't be able to do this. But Asta recently made a contract with Libe, his devil. And since Asta has made a contract with Libe and he can pull off Devil Union, Libe's anti-magic runs through his veins. Anti-magic is still magic. So Asta doesn't have magic, but he does have anti-magic, which I guess is still magic because anti-magic is still magic. But it doesn't operate in the same way that your standard magic operates. So Ryu, when he's trying to teach Asta how to use zetten, he says, use the anti-magic instead of yoryoku, which once again confirms to us that yoryoku equals magic, and that yoryoku, also known as magic, is used to pull off zetten. So end of the day, when we're talking about definitions, yoryoku is the magic that runs through your blood, while yojutsu is what you do with your magic. Got it? Good. But since Asta now knows how to replace his magical power with anti-magic magic, that means Asta can essentially now use magic. By replacing his Yoryoku with anti-magic magic, he can fill in the gap, which has done a couple of very important things for Asta. One, this replacement has allowed Asta to pull off Zetten. And while I've briefly explained what Zetten is to work our way to another point, let me fully explain what it is right now. Zetten, for all intents and purposes, is kind of a hand-to-hand combat ability, though it can be channeled through the medium of a sword, which is usually the way that it is used in the Land of the Sun because everybody uses katanas. Now, Zetten requires that you gather the magical power in your body. You then deliver the entirety of the magical power in your body into a strike, or as much as you can gather. And I don't want you to think that every time you use Zetten, you pass out. That's not what's happening. But in order to talk about Zetten, you have to talk about it with a limiter in mind. And for the sake of conversation and making this easy, we'll say that our limiter is 100. That is to say that a user of Zetten is able to generate 100 units of magical power for their Zetten. Now, a user of Zetten has a couple of different options here. One, they can use all 100 units in one strike, or they can split it into numerous strikes. And some users decide to do this, splitting these 100 units into 5 strikes of 20 each. But the strikes have to be equal in strength. If you use 2 strikes, you use 50 units each. 3, 33, 4, 25, 5, 20.
Quick maths.
Yeah. I'm bragging about simple arithmetic. It's been a while since I've had to do math. And Asta, being a genius at figuring things out relatively quickly or just brute forcing his way into figuring them out, managed to figure out Zetten almost immediately. However, his Zetten manifests in a very different way than everybody else's, because mind you, he's not using Yoryoku, he's using anti-magic. So while everybody else's Zetten manifests as a physical magical strike, Asta's manifests as a anti-magic strike. So when Zetten is used against magic or magically created things, it deteriorates them instantly. On top of that, now that Asta has figured out how to replace his ki with anti-magic, he's basically mastered Yojutsu. And while we haven't seen him use anything outside of his 4 swords or Devil Union in the Land of Sun, while battling against Ichika, one of the Ryuzen 7, he stated that he was equal to her in both strength and Yojutsu practice. And since Yojutsu is magic generated through ki, which Asta has replaced, he's now basically mastered the magic of the Land of Sun. Now, does this mean that Asta has mastered magic as a whole? I can't really say, because once again, I'll state we haven't seen him use anything outside of Devil Union or his 4 swords. But the fact that Asta said he was equal to Ichika in Yojutsu is kind of insane. But that's not even the true strength of Asta's new form. See, I'm putting new form in here because Asta doesn't really look any different after figuring out all the things he's figured out in the Land of Sun. I mean, he still just looks like his Devil Union self, but he's got a couple of new spiffy abilities. And the most specific of those abilities is Zetten. See, like I've already stated, Asta's Zetten operates differently from other people's. While other people's Zetten manifest as a physical attack, Asta's is actually a counterattack. See, we learned in the most recent chapter of Black Clover, the one that came out 2 days ago as of this filming, has shown us that Asta's anti-magic Zetten allows him to allow his enemy to attack first. And after his enemy is attacked, Asta is able to use his supernaturally borderline future sight reaction time to see what magic they're attacking with. See, Asta is battling against the Beast Magic Paladin, and the Beast Magic Paladin starts moving at an insane speed, bouncing around the battlefield, leaving laser after images, moving around Asta in the blink of an eye hundreds of times. However, Asta's been battling against the Ryuzen 7 for either 2 hours or a week, I can't really tell. But in that amount of time that he's been battling against the strongest warriors of the Land of Sun, his reaction time has allowed him to keep up with basically anybody. So Asta is now able to use his insanely buffed reaction time and speed to allow any speed of enemy to attack him first. It's at this point that Asta launches a counterattack with his Zetten and slash the magic of the person attacking him. Not their physical body, the magic inside of them. And in the case of these paladins, it's kind of ironic, as after slashing the magic or the Yoryoku of the Beast Magic Paladin, it's stated that his magic is changing. Wait, no. Reversing. In essence, Asta was able to cut the purified devil out of this paladin by attacking the paladin's Yoryoku. And the strongest member of the Ryuzen 7, while watching this battle, said that he's formulated the perfect counterattack that allows him to allow somebody to attack first and win no matter what. Now, the development of this ability is important for a myriad of reasons. We're about to wade into big time manga spoilers here, so if you don't want them, I would recommend skipping to the end of the video. But the ability to cut the Yoryoku or magic out of somebody is huge in both the case of Sister Lily and Lucius, as Asta will will undoubtedly use this ability to cut Beelzebub out of Sister Lily and separate her from the devil, no longer making her a paladin. And as Sister Lily has kind of been the co-antagonist of this relatively short arc, but she's currently facing against Asta in the Land of Sun right now, I believe this will happen relatively soon. With Sister Lily saved, that leaves one more person. Lucius, also known as Julius Novachrono. See, Julius is an amalgamation of 3 separate entities all living in the same body. Lucius Zogratis, Julius Novachrono, and Astaroth, with Julius Novachrono and Lucius being twin brothers. Asta, after the development of this ability, will undoubtedly use it to cut either Julius or Lucius or Astaroth out of the Wizard King's body. He may actually have to use it a couple of times, because there's a lot of people to hack through in there. And thus there's a possibility that Julius will be able to be separated from Lucius, but maybe Lucius may not be able to be separated from Astaroth, and therefore Julius will be able to partake in the battle against the likes of Lucius. But regardless of what happens, the development of this technique is massive, and it's why I refer to this same looking Asta as a new form, because with the development of this technique, Asta is now able to actually take on the paladins without worrying about killing them, because prior to the formation of this technique, there was really nothing Asta could do against Sister Lily or Lucius, fearing that battling against them would hurt either Sister Lily or the Wizard King. So yeah, that's Asta's new form and how Yoryoku and Yojutsu work. Are you guys enjoying the Black Clover manga? Do you think it's going a little fast, or is that just me? Tell me in the comments below, and while you guys are down there, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. Is this page accidentally becoming a manga reaction page? A little bit, but also sometimes things are confusing and need to be explained in a timely fashion.